Hello everyone, my name is Xueqing and I am presenting briefly my Master of Science dissertation project. This project investigates how depressive traits could relate to cognitive effort-reward processing by studying individual cognitive components of choice, experience of pleasure, and vigor. It is well known that depression is a multifaceted disorder characterized by anhedonia, which is the reduced ability to experience pleasure, apathy, the decreased motivation, and reduced energy. But we are still unclear about whether these features can be explained by different processes. Therefore, our study aims to investigate if different phases of depression are associated with specific cognitive components evolved in effort-reward processing. We used 3 validated self-reported measures to assess 3 phases of depression, which are anhedonia, apathy, and severity of depression symptoms. And we inspected the cognitive components of 3 dimensions of effort-reward processing. The first is how people make decisions, which includes reward-seeking and effort avoidance as 2 major cognitive components. The second dimension is how pleasant people feel, including the general experience of pleasure, as well as pleasure decreased by effort and increased by reward. The third is response vigor, defined as how fast people would act towards their decisions. We adapted an existing balloon effort task as a behavioral measure of these 3 dimensions, and the task also asked the subjects to rate their happiness at specific timings, which measured their instant experience of pleasure, as shown in Figure 1 at bottom left. Our subjects finished the effort task and self-report measures on an online platform called Prolific. We fitted the behavior data using 3 computational models. You can check the models in Table 1. Each model depicted people's choice, pleasure, and vigor, respectively, and the cognitive components were quantified as the parameters of these models. We used Spearman correlations to examine if parameters of choice and pleasure model were associated with any self-report measures, and the analysis revealed a weak to moderate negative correlation between general pleasure and PHQ-9 score, which measures depression symptoms, as shown in Figure 2 on the right side. But PHQ-9 or other depressive trait measures were not really correlated with the pleasure modulated by effort or reward, and neither reward-seeking nor effort avoidance was correlated with any depression measures. We fitted a linear mixed effect model with relevant depression measures and the parameters of vigor computational model. In this model, higher reward rate was associated with more vigor, as expected, but we didn't find any depressive traits significantly predicting vigor. However, the interaction of reward rate and behavioral subscore of AMI, which measures an aspect of apathy, was negatively associated with vigor. Therefore, in our study, apathy behavior subscore modulated the association between reward rate and vigor. To sum up, we found that people reported more depression symptoms tend to experience less pleasure in effort-reward processing, but the pleasure appears not to be modulated by effort or reward. Depressive traits do not seem to influence how people make choices in the effort-reward trade-off. One particular interesting finding is that people with higher apathy traits seem to need more reward so that they can act faster, so depressed individuals might require more reward to spend effort than non-depressed individuals. And this potentially explains why depressive patients often withdraw from goal-directed activities, even those activities they used to enjoy. Thanks so much for your attention, and this is the contact information of my supervisor and myself. Please feel free to send me any questions about this project, and I am happy to answer them.